Hey, yet another little look-see at this thing. I've been busy with the guns. Very busy with the guns. Yeah, you can say it's heavily armed, but then again, you take a look down here, they're just bunched up. Here, they're more spread out over the length instead of the width. Here, width, there, length. And the main firepower is now here. However, there's only 5 big guns, not 6, 7 or so. Now, medium-sized guns, you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, because I took out some weapons here to put in this, which is an armor panel that goes around the ship now on this area. Then you pull back to here, top and bottom, where it goes top and bottom. That is for docking purposes. I'll be putting in some other stuff there later to protect the ship around the front. Plenty of heavy armor all over the front, and going a little bit back, just little. Then on these strips where the thrusters are, heavy armor. These where the weapons are is all light armor, because that's where the guns are. But so the outside I'm thinking is near complete, not quite yet. However, I need to work on the inside. Yeah, there's a lot of conveyors. Now, one thing I wanted was make sure it could move, so heavy-duty gyros. And this is going to be the secondary reactor room. The primary is going to be back there near the Titan engines, which I have encased now. They have been completely encased. In fact, I'm going to take a picture of that later, but these things have been completely encased. There's been a huge amount of guns added in, which reminds me, everything enable idle movement. Let's just do that for now. Everything move. Now I had to rework some of the guns on the side, but they appear to be moving. Vulcan isn't moving. What? Oh, I didn't enable the Vulcan. Vulcan. There you go. Okay. So yeah, there's a huge amount of guns. Vulcans for shooting out missiles, same with CIWS, but Vulcans are good for a lot of stuff. And a lot of missiles. There's a ton of CIWS. You're not getting through this very easily. So, yeah. However, I have a question. I have a question for everybody. It has to do with these. As you can tell, these are very, very small. In fact, I'll show you how small. Where's my Hornet? Anyone who knows the Hornet knows it's a light combat drone. Right? It's a very small combat drone using small ship blocks. These are models. These things here are models. Okay? As for what they're models of, they are models of what that is going to be. If you don't remember, let me remind you. Small, medium, no large, yet. So I have a question for everybody. These are the 2 designs I've been working on, except for I forgot to remove a couple of things. I forgot to do this side. For me, always forgetting something. There we go. So, these are the 2 designs I'm thinking of. This one here. Oop. A and B. This one here is gonna be A. Except for that's very, very small, but we'll work with it. I'll put it in bright red. So we have A, and we have B. Alright, so bear that in mind. And I'm gonna have this over here for something. Typical me forgetting something, right? This. You'll. There, that's just a representation. So, this is A. Option A is basically the same or similar to the small and the medium. The medium, it had the combination arms with a gap. The small, it was more along this style. So I'm thinking version of the small or the medium is option A. Option B, a completely different design, where you have a set of arms that stick out. You have these additional support units in the middle, and it's generally a little bigger than option A. It's wider, more open in the bottom, and it's gonna be pretty big. That there is sort of the idea for option A, by the way. That there is basically the idea for option A, or close to it. So bear that in mind of just how big we're talking. That probably is only gone here, and probably not there. Well, it's probably gone the two of these. And if you notice, there's 3 more to go. So imagine that going way higher, way lower, and then connecting. So you'll easily be able to get, you'll probably be able to get 2 of those top and bottom, no matter what. And I might even call that just one of these or 1.5, so that could be way bigger. But I'm kind of leaning towards option B. I kind of like it. I kind of like option B because the whole point of a Titan, the whole point of this is Titans, and you gotta think size. What sort of size are we talking about? I'm going more off of EVE Online. Take a look at EVE Online. Take a look at frigates compared to destroyers, compared to cruisers, compared to battlecruisers, battleships. Do you remember the size of my frigates? Do you remember the size of my destroyers? Small. Now you remember my anti-air cruiser, but that's basically just a really, really big destroyer. This is a heavy cruiser, and if you're ready for some lag, actually hang on. And my computer hates me right now. So here's the Vagabond anti-air cruiser. This is a heavy cruiser. First off, you notice the guns. Yeah, there's 6 guns in there, there's 5 guns in there, but they're way bigger, and this has no side guns. None big, at least. But that's an anti-air cruiser. This is a mainline cruiser, so bear that in mind. And I have a lot of work to go on that thing still. Besides just thrusters. Ha ha. So, but notice the difference in size, if you will. Do you see the difference in the sizes? Yes, I know it's not quite up front, but notice how much farther back it goes. Do you see the difference in the size? The width is actually, is it the same or is it smaller? I don't think it's smaller. Let's find out. 23 and 21. So it is slightly wider. It's definitely taller. It's definitely taller, and it's definitely longer. Alright, so that's a proper heavy cruiser. That is a light cruiser. And a small light cruiser. Alright? Heavy cruiser, light cruiser. You get it? But take a look at EVE Online. Do you see the differences in sizes of their ships? If this is a cruiser like the Osprey or the Caracol for the Caldari, and my destroyers are like the Cormorant, and my assault vessels like the Cormorant, and my frigates and other destroyers, and the non-assault versions are like the Griffin, the Kestrel, and the Rifter, for example. Do you remember how big the battleships get? Well, take a look at this, see how it's kind of, basically this is the same length as the small. Look how much more I have, and that'll be a battleship, alright? I'm gonna have a battleship be about the length of this crucible. That's how big we're talking here, alright? A battleship, the length of that crucible, which is all the way over there. So take a look at the size of a battleship, then take a look at the size of something like the Leviathan, or just going even to the Phoenix. What does it look like? Well, if you recall, it should be more long. And I'm not even sure I would call that halfway. Just an FYI. I'm not even sure that would be halfway. In case you're wondering of the size we're talking about here. So that's why I think a radically new design, because it's so much bigger, has something that's more oriented to such a massive ship, which should be this. Specialization construction at certain points. No rails, don't start on rails. So specialization, instead of arms all along, just have this massive grouping because of something so big, and then a gap, and then a massive grouping, and then a gap. I'm thinking option B. Maybe option A, which would be like the other two, but bigger. Or there's an option C. Option C is something completely different. So here's what I would like you guys to do. I'm going to get this out as soon as possible. So here's what I want you guys to do. In the comments, say, do you like option A? Do you like option B? Or are you thinking of an option C, which is something else? And if you are thinking of an option C, please put a link to an image of a space station that you are thinking of, some sort of ship construction yard for an option C. Alright? If you do comment on A, B, or C, please give a reason as to why you prefer that one over the others, but you don't have to. I would prefer it if you do. I'm putting my money on B. Of course, that means it's going to be gargantuan, because that is way bigger. My money's on B, so we'll see. But yes, please leave a reason as to why you choose one over the other, and please, if you choose option C, put me a link to some sort of image of a construction yard, alright? Not something, it has to be something for spaceships, not something else, okay? Thank you.